Hey, here's again. Time for another picture rant. Yes. Yes. Now, wait a minute. The reason I'm making this is because I gotta talk about alien invasion. And I, I just can't believe this Battlefield LA. You know what's getting to me as a futurist? A futurist studies how the future will be, and when you do, you learn about resources. When you learn about resources, ooh, my mouse, blah, 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 blah. Sorry. Yeah. When you learn about resources, not just energy and materials, but other resources, like things like land. I think there's about six of them. I wish I had looked this up. You can go to Wikipedia and look up artificial scarcity. Well, I personally believe in minimum scarcity. And I think that's what futurism is about. Because futurists are always trying to find the most ideal future. That's a common trend of futurists. Well, all these movies, just after a while, it starts hurting the mind. Because once you start realizing about resources and alien invasion, you start realizing how stupid it is. Utterly stupid. Battlefield LA. Freaking uh this movie Skyline. Anything that has FTL travel or even can make interstellar travel does not need our planet. Believe me. Watching the latest V, that is just driving me up the wall. If you've got those kind of ships, you can live in space. You can terraform a planet. Even if your planet is going kaplunk, right? There's so many planets out there that can be terraformed. Now, maybe not, okay? You know, that gets into an actual debate of something. But there'd only be two reasons anyone who could come here would want this planet. Maybe two or three. No joke. Mars wants women. That was the funniest thing I ever heard. That's stupid. Why would they invade just for the women? Well, if you think about it, one of the most important things is fresh breeding stock. If you don't want to live in a clone society, and even a clone society has replicative fading, where the next copy isn't as good as the last, or maybe your genome is getting wore out, so you figuratively have to transplant your culture into a fresh culture, but have them look like you so you continue. I know that's kind of weird, but if you're a dying species, what are you going to do? And you might say, why are you dying species? Well, maybe Now, here I don't know about biology, but I generally get the distinct impressions that the more advanced the species, the more genetically specified it is. And it's run its course. Um, alligators may have been around for several million years, but we may not be because we are so highly evolved. We're like the koalas eating the damn friggin' Bailey leaves. Once our specified niche is gone, maybe so is our high tech world. If we evolve, if something else, well, how can I put it? If civilization crashes and there's even a habitable planet left, we might evolve into something else, or something else might become a proto-human. Like a bonobo or something. Hey, Barry Bonobo. Now let's get back to the aliens. The only reason they want to come here is to either transplant their culture, or they want the land. And if they wanted the land, there's no danger in destroying us. The only danger in destroying us is how the hell to get rid of us without us destroying the world. They would have to destroy all the nukes first. That's the only reason any alien would have for having a precision strike. Other than that, it's just cleanup work and wet work. And believe me, there's no reason anybody would care about destroying us, because we are so far from being able to even freaking get a base on the moon, much less do anything else, that we're probably prime time amusement. Must watch Galactic TV. The humans are doing it again on Thursday night. Must see. Yeesh. Yeah, I mean, we're nothing. We completely. I could talk about how we could get into space and all that and stuff, and how we could do it, but anybody who is in space has a space infrastructure, a manned space infrastructure, or robotic space infrastructure. They've already harnessed the power of their sun. Even as something as simple as freaking a solar satellite. You know? So, spending all that energy to travel here, and if you've got ships that can get close to relativistic speeds, or pretty advanced robots, what do you even need interstellar travel for? If your society is technologically advanced enough to be self-sustaining, and you've matured into a race that you're comfortable in your ecological niche, and you're not having any resource problems, what does it matter if centuries come and centuries pass? You know? I don't know. So, why would you need to launch little bitty ships from your gravity well? That is what your world is, actually, a gravity well. Pass up your sun, pass up all that raw material in your satellite rings, and once you have material and energy, you can put those two together very easily with manpower. And believe me, there's enough materials out there to create habitable structures in space. Dome cities, big space arcs, but just enough for solar exploration. We could be busy for hundreds of thousands of years just exploring our own little solar system. Well, maybe not hundreds of thousands of years, but believe me, the great frontier is first solar exploration and then settlement. We're like living on the east coast of America. We're not even in America. The new world is our own solar system first. And even the inner solar system, much less the outer parts. So, and if some alien was to send a probe, their most interesting thing would probably be cultural. You never learn more about yourself than you do about watching someone else. Are you sure everyone on that YouTube channel you're watching is even a human being? Maybe it's a relay. Maybe they have faster than light instantaneous communication because of quantum estrangement, where one particle instantly acts on another particle no matter how much distance is separated. But they can't transfer matter. So there's subspace communication that's instantaneous, but there isn't faster than light travel. Maybe that's a reality. After all, from what I've heard, our radio and television broadcasts don't go on forever. I heard a thing from SETI that about a light year or two out, they fade out into background noise. So no one hears our old shows. Certain science fiction things got that wrong. Yeah, but I mean, all these alien things, and it's stupid, and it just drives me nuts because I'm kind of conservative a little bit. Ooh, you know, oh, he's part of the Dark Empire, yeah. But I can tell you, as he's someone who was a friggin' pro-mission, friggin' person, that a lot of that stuff is stupid. You can't make a parallel about not 9/11, about the Iraq War with stupid aliens coming here. Because they don't need our resources. It's like taking a rowboat to China to get tea. Kind of not worth the effort, huh? Really? Or even a cruise liner. You know? And if you're having if you don't have the infrastructure or the energy to do anything with your resources, then even outsourcing jobs, if you don't have any oil, is no good with a super tanker or one of those super freighters that goes across the ocean and back, if you don't have the cheap energy for it, it ain't worth it. Well, now apply that several hundred billion times of energy resources in interstellar travel, time, expense, effort, risk versus reward, you know. So really, next time, look at one of these friggin' Battlefield LA, which just reminds me of friggin' that thing they shot down that might have been the only UFO there was, you know. Figured, when there's something they shot down friggin' in World War II off of LA. It was called the Battle of LA, I think. And, yeah, you know, so I saw this on a British Doctor Who episode. One of the new ones, even. I could not believe it. Some stupid Sleestack or something, Sleegoth or something. They had this technology where they were bulky creatures, but they could have interdimensional suits that are bigger on the inside than they are on the outside. They could, so to speak, put on a man suit and hide their big bulk in these costumes of people. Robotics into robotic skins that had actual tesseract fields in them. And why were they doing all this? And what were they using this for? To travel interstellar distances to melt down our little blue pebble into atomic slag for energy. Face palm! They would. I just saw that and I was just like, no, 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 no. You're gonna travel. Shit. You heard me before talking about this. You know? And it's like, okay, so they're gonna friggin' travel all that distance. Bullshit. You know? Traveling FTL must be, if possible, if ever possible, would have to be exponentially not just hazardous, but freaking energy intensive. You would probably blow as much energy as I don't. I remember to Star Trek First Contact where he did the first warp jump. Oh, and why did they pick James Cameron? All the fracking people. That first warp jump that took him a couple light years out, and that cheap thing, that thing must have had enough power as probably all of today's atomic energy combined. And he must have used probably a third of it with that one little warp jump, and then friggin' probably another third with it back. And if he came back in for a landing on the Phoenix, you know, I remember the name, the first warp jump vessel in Star Trek, that was, you know, push the message, an atomic bomb. If that bomb went off, I don't want to get into Star Trek and subspace and theories of everything and yeah, all that crap. It just, there's some conservation of energy issues with that and everything where they're generating more energy than they have stored, and they're drawing it from somewhere. Supposedly, uh, 0 point energy or some aspect of that, something like that. That's why phasers have forced chamber explosions, and why when you phaser someone and they're holding a phaser, they don't go up in a forced chamber explosion plus and friggin' probably feed back and blow up your phaser, or why friggin' people don't blow up into huge clouds of friggin' superheated hydrogen, instead of just quietly disappearing in disintegration fields, you know. Consider mini nuke, people phasering each other from 2 feet away, not even getting a freaking suntan. Come on. Anyway, but yeah, conservation of energy. That's a big thing with sci-fi. Next time you see someone with artificial gravity or jetting along here and there and everywhere, and or having some big freaking battle for end on end only to explode in this little bitty explosion, what kind of battery or fuel tanks does that thing have that it isn't going up with all that excess energy in it like a freaking atomic bomb? Just like these aliens that get shot, that run forever. Something running around like a goddamn pachyderm all day and night, or a freaking tank, and yet the thing never fills up and it's freaking blasting with several megajoules of energy. I'm sure you can freaking sit there and probably calculate the power of some of those energy blasts by the damage it does to the materials that it's shown damaging. Okay, that would have taken so much exerted force of thermal or kinetic or, radiation, well, not radiation, but thermal or kinetic energy to do that kind of damage. So here we go, Battle of LA, and I'm looking at that and I'm face palming again, going, okay. Face palming with the freaking Vulcan sign that I can do with both hands. If you can see this, I know I'm not doing videos, but right now, it's freaking so freaking. Well, I got a cheap computer and friggin' the damn friggin' megabytes just keep going up and up and up and up, and it's like, I don't want to wait 5 hours for a 5-minute friggin' thing. This would have been about 1,000 friggin' megabytes. So, But really, it's called resources. And if you want to know about scarcity, look up post scarcity. Look up conservation of energy. And you will see why a lot of this stuff just does not add up. This is Curas. Over and out. Your favorite Space Ranger says